Hey everyone! Today I want to talk about a tragic and shocking event that took place in Pahalgam, Kashmir, on April 22, 2025. This attack shook the nation and set off a chain reaction that led to one of India's most decisive retaliations. At 2:45 p.m., armed terrorists emerged from the forest in Baisaran Meadow and opened fire on innocent tourists. 26 lives were brutally taken, including brave souls like an Indian Navy officer and a former banker. This horrifying act was initially claimed by the Resistance Front, linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba, although the claim was later retracted. The motive behind this heinous act? Opposition to residency permits for Indian citizens in Kashmir and a direct attack on the booming tourism sector. Eyewitnesses described the scene as chaotic and terrifying, with tourists caught off guard and trying to escape. India responded immediately. Security forces evacuated the wounded and launched a manhunt for the attackers. Prime Minister Modi cut short his trip to Saudi Arabia and, along with Home Minister Amit Shah, strategized a response. Modi condemned the attack and vowed justice, promising to pursue the attackers to the ends of the earth. And then came Operation Sindoor. On May 7, 2025, at precisely 01:05 a.m., Indian forces launched precision strikes against terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Using advanced loitering munitions developed in collaboration with Israel, India targeted 9 critical sites, including training camps and terrorist headquarters. The strikes were surgical, with no collateral damage, and no Pakistani military establishments were targeted. The specific targets included notorious sites like the Sarjal camp in Sialkot, linked to the J&K police attack, and the Markaz Taiba in Muridke, the training ground for the 2008 Mumbai attacks. All targets were neutralized. Pakistan's response was swift and stern. They threatened to suspend the Simla Agreement, expelled Indian military attachés, and suspended trade with India. They even closed their airspace to Indian aircraft and warned that any attempt to stop or divert water would be considered an act of war. India took additional measures, suspending the Indus Waters Treaty and closing the Attari-Wagah border. The nation was put on high alert, with civil defense drills and tightened cybersecurity to protect against potential cyber threats. The global reactions were mixed, with condemnations and condolences from countries like the US, UK, Russia, and Saudi Arabia. The UN called for maximum restraint, while the US, UK, China, and Qatar urged for de-escalation. In India, there was an outpouring of support for the victims and the armed forces. Special prayers, blood donation drives, and anti-Pakistan protests were widespread. In Kashmir, the shock and grief were palpable, with protests against the attacks and expressions of solidarity. This tragic event and India's fierce response underscore the resilience and strength of our nation. We stand united against terrorism and will continue to fight for peace and justice. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. Stay safe, everyone.